Novo Nordisk, the pharmaceutical giant behind blockbuster weight loss drugs like Ozempic and Wegovy. The company's stock took a sharp hit after releasing disappointing results from two highly anticipated Alzheimer's trials, and the market reacted fast. So what exactly happened? Novo Nordisk has been testing an oral version of semaglutide, the same compound used in their diabetes and weight loss medications, to see whether it could help slow cognitive decline in people with early-stage Alzheimer's disease. This was a bold move. If it worked, it would have opened the door to a massive new market and positioned Novo as a major player in neurology. But today, the company confirmed that both late-stage trials failed to meet their primary goal. The drug simply did not slow the progression of Alzheimer's. To put this in perspective, these trials involved about 3,800 patients, and they were designed to run for 3 years. But an independent committee reviewing the data recommended stopping early, about 1 year before the planned completion, because the drug wasn't showing meaningful benefit. That's a strong signal that semaglutide, at least in the form tested, isn't effective for this condition. Now, let's talk about how the market reacted. The announcement triggered an immediate sell-off. Shares of Novo Nordisk dropped around 9-12, depending on the exchange, wiping billions off the company's market value. In fact, the stock hit its lowest level since mid-2021. Investors were clearly spooked, not just by the failed trials, but by what this means for Novo's future growth story. But why was the reaction so strong if analysts already saw this as a risky lottery ticket trial? It's because the Alzheimer's program represented a potential new growth pillar. Novo already dominates the obesity drug market, but competition is rising, and investors have been looking for signs of what the company might do next. A win in Alzheimer's would have opened a multi-billion-dollar opportunity in a field where treatments are scarce. Instead, this failure reinforces concerns that Novo's future growth will rely more heavily on its existing obesity and diabetes portfolio. Some analysts say the market is overreacting, that the Alzheimer's program wasn't fully priced into earnings forecasts anyway. And that's true. The trials were always viewed as high risk. But what is also true is that this failure hits at a time when Novo is facing increasing pressure in its core GLP-1 business, where competitors like Eli Lilly are aggressively expanding. So, this setback adds to already mounting concerns about whether Novo can maintain its explosive growth. So what does this mean moving forward? In the short term, expect volatility. The market will continue digesting what this failed trial means for Novo's long-term strategy. The company will now need to refocus its pipeline and possibly explore new therapeutic areas or acquisitions to reassure investors that growth won't stall. But it is also important to clarify, this failure does not affect the performance or approval status of Novo's blockbuster obesity and diabetes drugs. Those products remain extremely successful, and demand is still strong. This news only impacts the company's ambitions in neurology. In summary, Novo Nordisk bet big on expanding semaglutide into Alzheimer's treatment, and the bet didn't pay off. The stock is down sharply, investor confidence has been shaken, and the company now needs to prove that it can continue driving growth beyond weight loss drugs. It's a significant setback, and the market is clearly sending a message: Novo needs its next major breakthrough.